Right everyone, so I'm back at this boiler when I've done that flue seal, resealed everything, and I'm back to do the heat exchanger. So I've pretty much replaced most of the insides, but not very often it will still come up with the overheat down here. So you can see the electrodes have gone faulty again. So I think it's time just to replace this. And before anybody says it's an insurance job, I know it would be more efficient just to get a new boiler, but it's part of the insurance policy. We have to keep it running, so I'm going to get on with it. I've already bunged the system, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start draining it out through this point here, and hopefully we'll get to a point where the bungs will hold, and then I can crack on and deal with it. Right, so to get it to this point, it's probably taken me, I don't know, 10 minutes, if that. Just getting it drained down now. I am going to have to open up another drain off because the bung isn't holding, so I'm going to have to just drain it down. But yeah, and then we can start getting all this apart, get this off. But you've seen this 3 times from me now, so you pretty much know how it all goes. But yeah, so the burner still looks good that I put in recently. Oh, maybe not. So yeah, definitely good job I brought another one. So yeah, just a shame really. Right, so just getting this drain down now. I've opened up another drain off, just got that going. One thing I don't understand with these boilers is just that, it's had a new burner door, it's had a new flue seal, sump seal, all that sort of stuff, and then it still trips on the overheat. And I just can't understand why that is. And I spoke to Baxi last week, and I just asked, and he just said, oh, it just sounds like the heat exchanger's gone. But you're just like, well, how can the heat exchanger just go? Like there's no noises coming from it. It's not like the system's not overheating or anything like that. I just just a little bit, just a bit stumped by that, I suppose. Right, so we're finally at a point where it's either drained or it's held, but I think it's drained, to be fair. I don't think the bungs were holding. So yeah, I've got that connection out there. So next I'm going to move on to this, and I just find it easier just to literally take it apart, because you can't seem to get onto this one in here. So I just take it apart, just separate it, and just let whatever water is still in the pipes to drain out. This is why you always order up a new flow switch, because it will always, well, not always, but majority of the time it will snap. So we're free there. Now just got to get this gas connection out, Gascon out. It's been blessed. I've literally just got on that, it's just moved. So yeah, lovely. And I'll be able to get that out with a screwdriver behind it. Right, old one is out. So I know that is all nice and lubed up from when I've done that flue seal before. So yeah, start getting a new one in. Right, so what I always do, always when I'm doing a heat exchanger, is I'll get it so that the connections are all done up, and then I'll just fill it up and just double check it basically. It's just the easiest thing to do, and at least then you can crack on with everything else. And as usual, you can just crack on and get everything sorted out. That's just how I do it. Seems to work well. But yeah, so new one's in, so I just need to put these plates back up here. So yeah, flue connection's all brand new, obviously, as we know. Comes with new screws, so I just need to get a new burner in there, and then just get it all done. Right, so I'm going to try the trick that everyone keeps on mentioning when doing a condense trap. So I've got a new one here, so I've screwed that on, that rubber connection on already, and then we'll plunk it in. If you do it the right way around, Chris. Sorry, trying to do it through a camera. Done. Lovely. Cheers, guys. Right, so just lit her up. What I've done, I've just put the hot water on only. Just it's the smallest circuit, and we'll see how that goes, and then we can put it onto the heating and then go around and clear any more air that's left in the system. I've vented all the rads, everything like that. Lovely. So she's up and running. Got a good long picture. So we'll just let this settle down now. But yeah, seems to be running all good. As you can see, it's running lovely. Had a bit of blockage in the pump and stuff like that, but other than that, all the FGA readings are perfect. I know I've sealed this flue inside and outside. It's running good. Right, so take off the sub, have a look inside. So there's all of this stuff that we can't seem to clear, and this flue way up the back there as well. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. Insulation panels out. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, you can see all the way up inside there. So I don't know. I just can't seem to work out these heat exchangers. Once you think you've got it, then other stuff seems to crop up really. But yeah, I mean, you can see the sump was, you know, relatively new. Well, it was new, sorry. But yeah, it's just in a poor condition, obviously. See around here as well. But anyway, new one's in now. Right, so I just thought I'd add this in because I saw it on a job. So here you've got that little box up there, and then you've got this little circulating pump here, which modulates up and down. So the wattage goes up and down. Then the flow comes up, goes into that top connection there, and then circulates through and goes down. And then it goes down out through that return at the bottom, at the back, and then goes back to the boiler. Now this one at the front here, this is being picked up by this pump, and then it gets pushed out to the radiators. And basically the idea is that it's a low loss header. There was different types. So there was one that was well known, but not very many people used them, called Magic Box. And the idea is basically just that the boiler doesn't have to work so hard. I'm going to add a little clip at the end. Right, so excuse my crude drawing, but basically this is just going on from that what we just saw on that Magic Box or AA or low loss header, whatever you want to call it. But basically how it works is that you've got the boiler here, and then obviously you've got your flow coming out, and there's one pump on there. And the one that's on there is a modulating one, so it goes up and down in speeds, etc., depending on what's required. So it comes up, comes in, obviously dispels any air that's in there out through the AAV. It will go through the Magic Box and into like a coil. From what I believe, there's a coil inside, and then it comes back, and then it comes back and returns. And then what this side does, so it's got a pump on there as well, that's all linked in at the same time, and then the pump's running, and then what this side does, it pulls the heat out from there, and then that takes that off and goes and feeds all your radiators, and then comes back and links back in here. And the idea behind it is very similar to a low loss header really, that the boiler is not doing as much, it's not actually having to work very hard. So the pump is literally just, all it's doing, and the pump as well on this side, all it's doing is literally circulating heat round this loop, and then this pump is taking it and doing this loop here. So in effect, you know, they are quite good. This one was quite a new one. The guy was saying it's only 2 years old. That's why I just thought I'd just pick it up and, you know, show what I've seen, because there was a service guy that came out earlier on, didn't have a clue what was going on, so he aborted and said that he couldn't do it. So I picked up the job and attended, and the guy said, I hope you know something about systems, because the other guy can't seem to work it out. So yeah, that's basically what happened. So the boiler's just ticking away lovely, and on low heat as well, and it's just literally just circulating here round the coil, and then back again, and then this side is taking the heat from here and then pumping that to your radiators. So yeah, very nice and simple, but it does work very well. That place was lovely and warm.